Hello and welcome to Living As Is. I'm Shar, autistic, self-aware and awakening. We're moving up the chakras. Slowly but surely we're moving up the chakras. And now we sit at the Sacral Chakra. And let's bring it up on screen and show you the aspects of this chakra. So here we have the sacral, in Sanskrit known as the Svadhishthana. I really like the naming of this chakra. It's viewed as the dwelling place of the self, which is kind of like saying the self has a place to sit, a place to live, a place to breathe, a place to expand from. And here it is, at the sacral, the Svadhisthana. Sva, meaning self or prana, Adhisthana, meaning dwelling place. This is located approximately 2 to 3 finger widths below the navel. The tattva, or the element, that is related to this chakra is water. And as water is related to this element, you could end up with a choice of colour. And it's the colour of water, which could be transparent or a light blue. They also give 2 shapes to this element, and I've tended to only see one, but there are 2. One is the circle, which is the one I've chosen, or it can be seen like a water droplet, once again relating it to water. The seed sound, or the bija mantra of this element, Vang, and the colour of the seed, gold. To the base, there are 6 petals, and the colour of these petals, why, a lovely orange. There are seed sounds to the petals, which, I think I really could do with improving my Sanskrit, learning to pronounce these words. I think it would do them an honour to learn to pronounce them. So for the moment, I'm still apologising for this. But moving from the top and going in a clockwise direction, we start with bang, and then moving to the right we have bang, mang, yang, rang, and lang. The circle I mentioned, it's representing the water element. I mentioned this, it's connected to water, but this also connects it to the moon. So this element with the moon can be evoked with the lunar breathing of the left nostril, connecting to Ida Nadi. Maybe at some stage in the future I'll do some nostril breathing and bring you in a bit more of a connection to the moon element. Six petals. Therefore, we have 6 mental modifications or virities: affection, suspicion, disdain, delusion, destructiveness, and pitilessness. I'm repeating myself a little bit here, but the crescent moon with the circle, yes, it's both water and the moon. The water element being the ruling element. However, with the moon in association, they can have a strong influence over the second chakra person. So a person who is strongly related to the second chakra, water elements and the moon both have some guidance and some influence with a person who has that in nature. Now, due to the moon, we also have a relationship to women, and it's a strengthening relationship. And that's because of the moon and the influence with the woman's menstrual cycle. We have quite a strong lord related to this chakra, and that is Vishnu, Lord of Preservation. Vishnu, pervading through all, holding a steady balance between the energies of Brahma and Shiva. You can actually say that Vishnu is the eternal benefactor of the Svadhishthana chakra. This chakra also has a relation to procreation, family, fantasy, creativity, and sensuality. Now, we do have a sense organ related to the chakra, and that sense is taste. Therefore, the organ is the tongue for the sacral chakra. The plane, or the loka, associated to the sacral is the astral plane, the bhuva loka. And then this list comes to completion with the ruling planet Mercury, lunar and feminine. Now, keeping a balance with all chakras is important. With this chakra, if you're riding an imbalance with this chakra, you end up in frustration, attachment, obsession, anxiety, fear, or we end up with an overindulgence and excessive hedonism. Now, having positive energies held within the sacral, and you should be fine expressing emotions in the right way. So it's not just about expressing in the right way. You should find in balance, then the right emotions come to you. There will be flexibility, both physically and emotionally, and that should help with those emotions. An important question, or I feel this is an important question, is can you be open to accept nurturing as well as give nurturing? So can you take nurturing on board from someone else, and can you give it? That's a really good way of measuring how balanced you are. Can you accept and open to others? Now, I mentioned earlier this is the dwelling place of the self. So we have one or two questions here about self. And it's really, really basic. Can you find self? Open to self? Balance self? Are you able to be with self? Sit with, be at peace with. Self is sometimes being seen as a bit of a puzzle. What is self? We talk about ourself or yourself, but self can be viewed as your truth, as who you are inside. And can you let that self out into the world? Can you be free, regardless of what comes your way? Can you be open to self, balance with self, sit with, be with? Can you do this with self? Find your way to connect to self and be with self on all levels. Thank you for listening to the end. Now, get those fingers clicking. Click like, click subscribe, and then for good measure, click to be notified. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Blessings to you all.